Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 11th Ward. I don't know the last time we had this many people in the room, but I apologize for the heat in advance. If you're at home, you're cooling in your AC. But we're here for a community meeting that was requested by many community members. When you got the notification about the Zoning Board of Appeals hearing that the owner of the Shell station is going to have to go through. So at the request of the community, I'm holding this meeting tonight. We're at the 11th Ward office. It's 6:15 on Monday, April 28th. I mentioned earlier, we are recording this so that anybody that missed the meeting or can't make it to the Zoom can watch that at a later point. We have with us today the owner of the Shell station, Azam, and his son, his architect, as well as his attorney, Rich Toth. This meeting is to update you on what's happening with the station. This is not a zoning change meeting because that zoning change actually took place before I ever took office. So under Patrick Daley Thompson, that zoning change was done. And that was done back in 2022. And in that time, Azam has had plans put together. And to accommodate his plans, that's going to require him with the zoning that he has currently to go before the Zoning Board of Appeals for a special use permit as well as a variance. So I'm going to allow Mr. Toth to go ahead and give his presentation. We're going to give you an update. I don't think anybody has seen what this is going to look like. I know that issues were raised at the two previous community meetings that were held. That's what I've been told. I'm sure many of you attended those meetings when the zoning change was being considered back in 2022. So, Rich, I'm gonna turn it over to you and I'll get over to your presentation.
Sure, happy to. First of all, we'd like to thank Alderperson Lee for organizing and hosting the meeting. So thank you for that and for shepherding us along. We'd also like to thank everyone here for your interest and for coming out and to learn more about the site. This is a continuation of the rezoning that we did a couple years ago. It was so there's not too much. It's all that new and exciting. We just had a long slog with getting the attention of the planning department and pushing things along. So again, it's basically the same overall project that we had previous community meetings on.
Can you speak a little louder?
I will try to. Thank you for asking. Thank you for that. So I'm here to help Azam Khan, who is I'm gonna cheat here because it's hard to see. Can we do a full screen on that by any chance?
Go here.
Then we go to the perfect.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. So it's the Bridgeport Shell, of course, at 2015 West 31st Street. I'm sure you're all very familiar with it. You're not quite that old, but it's been around for 50 years or so. So it's not a newcomer to the neighborhood. But Azam has been there at least 28 years. We were debating on
Correct.
because of changes of your companies,
Right.
things like that. But it's a family-owned business. We're not talking about, it's a Shell station. It's not Shell Oil Company that we're dealing with. It's a husband and wife and a family-owned business that have owned this business and operated it for 28 years. So when you need something, he's accessible. He's at the site. And again, the plan is to go through with the original vision of an expansion of the building. And there's related site improvements that we're going to talk about as well.
Want the next slide?
Switch one, maybe. I'm probably.
Is that it?
That's perfect. I usually would walk around for something like this, but I think I'll start falling over people if I
Yeah.
do, so I'm gonna stay seated. So you're familiar with the site and it's just at the corner there, Wells and 31st. As a result of our previous community meetings on this same matter, it was zoned to the B3-1 district. That's where it stands now. We'll go ahead one more perhaps. This is basically the survey, so it's sort of the current site plan and it's probably familiar to you. It's probably most relevant in that we're going to reduce from 3 driveways to, this is not gonna work.
No. What do you-
Sorry, from 4 driveways
Oh, you want a point? here.
No, that's okay. No, we'll do it.
Okay,
We're gonna go from 4 driveways to 3 driveways. I apologize. So that,
this one's gonna be eliminated,
right,
yes.
that one on Wells Street is going to be, removed. We'll show that in a little more detail later, but, that's probably one of the more significant changes to the site plan that's obvious on this current, survey drawing. Maybe we'll jump ahead. So again, just an aerial view of it, a couple of things that we're gonna do besides eliminating that one, curb cut, that one driveway, we're gonna expand slightly the canopy over the gas, dispensers. And there's gonna be which we'll show in more detail later, there's gonna be a small, expansion to the side of the building and a small second floor addition. This is, I probably might have been clear to mention it before, but we're not adding any gas pumps. It's the same number of gas pumps. So we're not generating any changes in that respect. We will go one more ahead. Just a shot of the interior, and I know Azam, as a Shell station franchisee, you are under the thumb of Shell, and they monitor you and check you, and they send, what are they called, secret choppers sometimes?
Yes,
You've done well with that, I guess, is
Yeah.
that?
yeah, for many years, yeah.
You get little-
Well, we do get the flying colors. I think I submitted to the ward office too.
So you've gotten awards there from
Right.
secret visits from Shell,
Yes,
and you're familiar with it, so of course it sells everything, soda pop and candy and ice scrapers, which we don't need this week fortunately, so. It provides those services to the neighborhood, of course, as most stations would, in addition to the gas. Go one more. Again, we're looking at the site. Again, no new gas pumps here, but this is the current view. And we are gonna, when we do the improvements, it will change the facade. Perfect, thank you. We did have some community meetings previously under Alderman Thompson. In 2022, he rezoned the property to facilitate the goals that we have here with the expansion and some of the related improvements. At that time, with those community meetings, there was neighbor feedback. And in response to that feedback and community concerns, Azam, you did a couple things. One, I think, was to, you work 24 hours and you reduced your hours so that you close at midnight and open at 5 AM on most days. Is that correct?
yeah, Monday through Saturdays,
Okay, and then on Sundays are,
11 to, close at 11 to 6.
okay, so to 6 AM. So in response to the neighbor concerns, you reduced your operating hours, you shut down in the late part of the night, which I don't see much anymore now that I'm a little older, but you also did some additional security. That was also in response to neighbor feedback. I think there were at least a couple aspects of that. I think your cameras went from like about 8 cameras to like 21 or
Right,
thereabouts.
Correct.
And then you also had a direct connection to the 9th police district.
Correct.
Okay, and that's still in effect, that the police still have that access and can
yeah.
see what's
with the
going on?
Construction, yes.
Okay,
Right.
and that's in
It's not there
response.
now. Is it there now?
How many cameras do you have currently?
About 8 cameras now.
But you
But
don't
the-
have one that's hooked up to the police
Yeah,
station,
that would be
right?
the new system.
With the new system?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so he
Yeah.
was saying it was now. It's not now.
No,
Do you
with
have
the
one
new
on Wall
construction.
Street? Does it point to Wall Street at all? Out of curiosity?
Yeah, we have a picture of all the cameras,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
The current cameras, yeah, because it's on, because do the current, I think the question is do the current cameras point to all sides of the gas station, so to Wells, to 31st, to
Yeah,
the alley?
you can see all these, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
And it's, Mike's seen it all the time. I mean, these are cameras, they're outside, yeah.
Okay.
I think we have outside, we have about 6 cameras outside.
and 2 inside,
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm sorry if I
Yeah.
misspoke on that. Thank
Yeah.
you for
Yeah,
okay.
Okay, so that was all in response to neighbor concerns before. We do plan to go ahead with that original plan to implement the building improvements. And we're also incorporating, several, additional features. We'll run through those. And a lot of that's design feedback from the Chicago Department of Planning and Development that has reviewed the plans multiple times, provided feedback several times, and we've tried to accommodate that feedback. We need approvals from the Chicago Zoning Board of Appeals. Code requirements are sort of adapted to larger gas station properties. If you're trying to build a new gas station in Chicago, they want you to, off the bat, they'd like you to have 20,000 square feet. We're like 12,500 square feet, so we're a little smaller. We're grandfathered, and so that's okay. But once you tamper with things, they sort of want you to renew all the approvals and make sure you're conforming. So
Excuse me,
yes,
you're grandfathered in for this gas station that you have now,
yes,
not for something bigger.
we're not making it bigger.
You're making it wider?
We're not making it wider.
What are you gonna
It's,
do?
so
Well,
he's
I'm getting there.
gonna get to it. I just want to say one other thing, because one of the other things that I recall, because I kind of had to be brought up to speed to all of this. From the initial meetings was the closing off of certain parking spaces along the wall there, yeah. So you,
Yeah,
I didn't know that was your house, sir.
yeah.
So you close that off so that people can't park right there, next to the building.
And that will add 2 parking for the neighbors.
Okay, so we'll jump back in here. I just wanted to mention that was one of the concessions that was made previously. Do you want the next slide?
Yeah, so we're not, yeah, that's fine, thanks.
1 second before you move, with all these changes, you're still gonna be closing early?
That's correct. Same
Same hours.
hours,
That is not gonna change.
correct. Monday through Friday, 5 to midnight. And on Sunday. it would be
Monday through
11
Saturday, not
Monday through
Friday.
Saturday. On a
Okay,
Sunday,
I got
11
you.
to,
I understand.
same
So-
hours.
So that was an accommodation. Good.
Because this is something that corporate office, when they approve the drawing, we have to mention all those hours by the corporate office.
Yeah.
So it's already in.
The fence along the alley is gonna stay?
Up to, it will show you the drawing.
You'll see all the new drawings here.
Can we just get back? I know this is, your drawing is, it's gonna be nice, I understand that. For 2 years, how come we still have people? What happened to security? What happened to you telling us that the bathrooms were gonna be open to the public? And what happened that the sign has been in your window, bathroom closed to the public for probably a year? You're not being a good neighbor. I don't wanna get this into an argument. We would love to see you expand. You're a good man. Nothing against you. Our problem is what we have to face on a daily basis
Okay,
with your with your business.
Michael, can we do this? Can we get through the presentation and what, he'll answer to all of that, okay? But
We
the-
answered all this 2 years ago.
I understand, but this is,
And you went along with it, so I never knew this was all said and done. I mean, this is all said and done.
well, this has to go to the,
I never knew this. I never knew.
Okay.
The ex-alderman signed off on this.
okay.
So that was like a big secret, I would assume. But he did, and that's what it is. I mean,
So the zoning change has been done. That is absolutely true. They
okay.
still have to go before the zoning board of appeals because their plans have to be approved. So the plans that they have don't meet like every single requirement that would allow them just to move forward. So that's why we're here meeting again, because y'all asked for a meeting to talk about this. And look, the community asked for it. I want them to be able to answer your questions, because I think those are all fair questions to ask. But to your point, the zoning change is done. This is going before the ZBA, which we want to show you why they have to go to the zoning board of appeals. You haven't seen the plans recently. I want you to see that, and whatever your concerns are, I want you to be able to raise them here and then answer for them.
Yeah, Steve.
No, current, these are revised plans.
What happened to the ones that we agreed on 2 years ago? Those were perfect. They had well street.
It-
Landscape.
So,
Landscape.
They had not gone through they had not gone through the zoning review, the planning and development department review. And because it's taken this long for them, this is a DPD thing, like since the day that I walked in, they've been trying to get their plans signed off on, because they have to go through landscaping, the number of trees and all of that. And if things have changed in the in-between, they're being held to that. So structurally, I don't think you're gonna see much that's different, but he's gonna note for you what the things are in particular that the zoning board is asking, or that the zoning code is now calling for them to go before the zoning board. Okay, so let us please get through this. We'll go as quickly as possible so that you can get your questions answered, okay? Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, well, this is the overall site plan. Again, we're not changing the pumps. We're taking away one entrance. We'll focus on that in a second. The other three entrances stay the same, and maybe we'll just go ahead. We'll go one by one and kind of focus on the improvements. So again, we're removing the one entrance that's circled there in orange on Wells Street, so that goes away. One more. When we remove that entrance, we free up.
That entrance is gonna be on the gas station on the Ellie side now, right? For a truck to go through there on the Ellie side. On the tip of the alley.
We're focused on the entrance on Wells Street.
We're gonna come around to it.
Could I be allowed to finish, please?
Go ahead.
So when we remove the entrance on Wells Street, it opens up for the city to reclaim 2 parking spaces. So that gets added back for the community, so the community has 2 more parking spaces to use. One more, also, as a result of changes, these are requests from the Department of Planning and Development, as the Alderman noted. There's gonna be additional landscaping. Part of it's gonna replace that curb cut. Part of it's gonna be along the alley there. Part of it's gonna be on the southern portion there. So that's a new feature, a new improvement. One more, please.
I'm trying.
Oh, you're fine.
Sure.
Oh, we're good. This probably wasn't circled correctly, but that there's gonna be new concrete on the repaving concrete on the ground. And then also the canopy above is gonna be increased slightly. I think it's 40 feet by 50 feet now. It's gonna be 50 feet by 60 feet now. With the changes, obviously that just provides a little more protection. We have good weather today, but we don't always have that in Chicago, so canopy will be a little bit bigger to protect customers who are refilling their cars.
Next.
Go one more. Let me catch up here. There's gonna be some electric vehicle chargers. Again, a suggestion of the Department of Planning and Development. So I think there's 2 chargers being installed. Is that right, Mario? So, and our architect Mario Pinchot's here. He
Along
can
where?
speak. It's
Along his wall.
Along his wall.
Yes.
actually, that's worth talking about. That sort of bumped back a little bit. We had a little more space there with some landscaping in there.
Between his wall and everything else.
Right, there's a little extra landscaping, a little walkway in there, just north of the landscaping. And the walkway is accomplishing both giving some room to the electric vehicle chargers that are stationed there. And it's also a request that from the Department of Planning and Development that we sort of have a safe walkway there to get back and forth without shuffling people through the parking lot and moving vehicles. So that's added. So just overall, the whole job requires there's gonna be some new paving and curb cuts, so those are just in part improvements to existing infrastructure. There's safety bump areas, those, I don't know, you can describe them, Mario, they're like little 4-inch little bumps, so that.
Yeah, just
it
4
discourages
inches high
people.
and like a 12 inches bump. So cars can go through. It was gonna be yellow and black to identify what is in and out. And I wanna add something else with the one before. From your building, we live in like 3 feet 6. It's the city wants to the neighbor use it for now we're doing more area for the daily products. So what gonna happen is now
me to
the
go back?
people don't have to go in front of the car to the traffic or the pumps to go inside to get the groceries. So now from the sidewalk, we create that safe travel by your property go and
Oh,
check
along
and get
here.
directly to the building without getting contact really
Right here.
with the, that's correct, that's an
Oh,
L
yeah.
shape going to that. Because if you see the floor plans, we know that, you know, that we put like a 30 feet just freezing area for the daily and more, stuff like that, you know. That one of these I wanna add for the setback that we have in the.
Okay, I'm gonna
So
go
once
back
again,
here.
safety, it keeps people from walking out in the.
That's there now, there's a walkway there now, always been a walkway there.
We're,
I mean,
Why are you
avoid the
concerned
people
about
go
the
through
safety
the,
of the
yeah.
The people who are going there to get gas versus all the neighbors here. That's what I hear you focusing way too much on. And all the other things that are happening. You're worrying about them getting behind. What about the gunshots that I have in front of my house? How come we're not addressing this instead of safety bumps that are not gonna slow people down at midnight? Zooming out of your gas station that wake me up in the middle of the night. Why are we talking about that? We spent way too much time on this.
Okay, well, just because I invited them to come and I asked them to give this presentation, I'd like for them to get through it and then we can spend as much time as we need to talk about the other things, okay? I'm not trying to stifle anybody's conversation, but in deference to Azam and Mr. Toth and making sure that you see all of the plans as they are currently. And you have any questions for that, we can take care of those and then we can get to
How
the
about-
wellness issues.
What
Let
about
us-
the legal issues?
Let you know what we're hearing in the community, what we're concerned about. We're concerned about a second floor up there that's gonna hold slot machines. What's
Okay.
going on there?
We're gonna get to that.
Say it yes or no.
Or we're gonna get to that. This is my meeting, Michael, please, okay? Go ahead.
There we go, fellas.
safety bumps, okay, we can go one more. There's a, added lighting, fixture,
We don't.
disabled accessible ramp and protected bollards, again, protecting, providing access. And safety features, there's gonna be a new enclosed, garbage pickup area. And then back to what was probably our original focus, there's gonna be a building expansion, maybe go back just one. There's gonna be a bump out of the building there on the west side, and then there's gonna be a partial,
How much of a bump
maybe
out?
about a third of the building.
How much of a bump out?
Well, questions are at the end.
No, how much of a bump out? You said a bump out, I wanna know how much. That's all you got.
Mario, can you give me
I don't have the dimension exactly, but it's like a 12 feet.
12 feet.
12 feet bump, yeah, increase of the base.
so, a partial second story addition?
You want me to go next?
No, go ahead. Since we're working on the building, so there's going to be, a complete change of the facade, obviously, there's an addition, on the second story there.
No way, I don't want that in front of my building. My building's been there 125 years,
You know, we're both up all night long,
2, 3,
even though the gas station.
second and third floor.
That's all we hear.
I can't have you built anything up.
Well,
It's again-
we do wanna talk, but we do wanna present everything to you, so you hear everything, okay?
Yeah, but
So let's, Mario, can you
You're,
talk?
you're only presenting it to me. I'm telling you, we can't have that.
We will talk, but.
Is there liquor,
Mario?
being sold here, or when you open this thing, is it not another liquor license or what?
So can we,
That's important.
there's 9 more slides and then
Yeah.
we can answer every single question in the room, okay?
Mario, can you talk about the facade, the changes?
Basically, what we try to do here is make simple, we're trying to do regular standard brick, red brick to match the neighbor. The only thing, heavy color was the black aluminum for the roofing system. And, all the, topping gonna be, like a 16 inches stone coping. That's basically what it is now.
So,
So around the windows and a couple of awnings to protect the entrance. That's basically
so brick to match the neighborhood
correct, yeah.
and the brick. We could go, one more, I guess. So the first floor layout will just have a little additional room for product display, a little extra room for storage. It's not too much space actually is being added.
What side of the gas station is that gonna be, on the Wall Street side or the Ellie side? The extra storage?
Well, I think we're bumping
We're
out
still-
a little bit to the west, and I think it expands Mario, maybe you,
The storage is gonna be by the alley. In the,
that
just the
north
big
side,
rectangle.
Over here?
Yeah, that's gonna be the storage.
So on the
space,
alley side,
An alley side.
that's the.
but
alley
that
side.
shifts the rest of the interior a little bit, right?
Correct, and the original building was in a square, so, give it some, the 6 feet room for the building. We, we reduce the original design in order to create more room for the neighbor.
Okay. The second floor is going to be a partial second floor. It's only that little middle section there. You'll see,
Are you minimizing it? What do you mean it's a little bit section? What do you mean?
This
So-
this is.
Is it
this
this
is
high?
only-
you
this
sort of
is
see
Is it this high? Is it this much higher?
The second,
it's a second floor.
This is
It's a
my
usable
building.
Space.
That you're gonna try and cover?
Right.
I'm not for that.
What's the square footage? What's the size, dimensions? What are we gaining here?
how high up?
Mario, can you give me a height?
It shouldn't be any higher.
And it shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be
aggravated
any
when
high up
we're
at
asking
all.
a question like that. It should not be aggravated with that.
It should be,
I'm just
right.
trying to get through, and we do want to answer your.
We
We do
want
wanna
to
answer your
dimensions. You
question.
say a little bit
Okay.
isn't.
So
We wanna
we'll
know-
let him answer the
We
question.
have a clear ceiling 9 feet, and it's featured 1/4, so it's gonna be probably 16 feet high with the kitchen.
How
So
much?
at the tallest point, at the top of this roof, how tall is that?
There's a
That's the
dimension in the
question.
back, I can read it,
Probably 16 to 20 feet.
very much.
My other side, by your house.
Yeah, that's all covering my house.
No, but the total to the ridge gonna be like a 30 feet. very much.
30 feet.
30 feet, yeah, to the ridge.
Yeah, that was the question I was
Yeah.
asking.
Listen, that was originally made as it is now. For how long you had that place? 35 years?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the way it's gotta stay. You wanna build out, you build out this way. You don't build up this way.
Right. You're right. You don't build up.
We're almost there.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
finish her
get
off.
to the rest of
One
this.
second,
There's a problem with people not getting on the Zoom.
yeah, the people are texting us that they can't find the Zoom link. Where's the,
It's, if they go to my Facebook page and click on the newsletter, there's a link in the newsletter.
But I
Yeah.
think they were going to the ward office page.
Oh, no, on the Facebook, yeah.
Okay.
And I think some people may have shared it on their Facebook pages too. There's a link on there. I'm sorry, it is really warm in here.
So with all this new going up, going wider, it's gonna be busier, correct? It's gonna be busier. What does that do for the neighborhood, being busier? What does that do? It doesn't, it's not good.
Brings more robbers
It's
in.
not good. You know, I'm in and out of my alley at least 10 times
Yeah.
during the day. There's people walking through the alley, pissing alongside of the alley. I come out with my wife. Miss Alderman, would you like to come out and see a guy pissing?
No,
And then he
of course
turns around and looks at you and says, what? What are you gonna do?
So I wasn't here before. Was there a commitment made by you? Let me just get through the last 6 slides here so I can just be done with this piece so that we can dig into the rest, okay?
Sure.
So this is the addition, this is
So that
going to
middle
be
portion-
the usable space
Correct.
on the,
And let's go one more. We're gonna.
so, and he'll talk about that, okay? Well, let's get through this and then he will, I promise
Bathrooms
you.
don't solve the problem, cause they don't even go in the bathrooms.
They don't let them in.
Bad people are bad people. They'll just pull the car up in the alley, get out and piss, and then go in the gas station. And being busier, it's not good.
That's
It's not good.
right
I got it.
now.
Miss Alderman.
It's right on my
Let's-
south.
All the
Right here.
time.
That's right on
I'm
my
gonna,
south.
I
Right on my
forget,
house.
you're gonna get the first question, okay? So here,
Okay.
let's go through.
We're right there, we're right at the end here, so, the bottom portion there is sort of just a break room for employees, they can have a little meeting, but it's just a staff room to take a break. The northern portion of that is a office space, let's.
You wanna go one
That's
more?
how it's going to be, that's our plans that are gonna be reviewed and approved by the city. If we go one more with the answer to the questions, there's no gaming, whoever told you there's gaming, it's not true, you're hearing something that has never been true. It
For now,
has
for now,
For now, yeah.
for now.
But
Once
he-
this
he-
is all
he
done,
intends
once you
on
got
doing
your
it, he
expansion,
said it.
then you're gonna- 2, 3 years down the lane, you're gonna do what you want.
George,
We know how that goes.
He does not, well, I've heard things that that's the plan, and that's certainly not the plan.
Why do you wanna build up then? Why do you wanna build up if you?
Yeah.
So hold on, there, literally, this is it, right? So there's, go.
There's no
finish.
gaming, that's gonna be part of the drawings, it's gonna be part of the
Then
plan.
why do you
It's
wanna
gonna be
build up?
part of the city approvals. Because we need the space, there is
Space
going
for
to
what?
be.
There will be office upstairs, the break room up there. We'll
Get
break,
The only space they have in the gas station right now,
yeah, office.
yeah,
Listen, do you have more than one gas station? You own more than one gas station.
No,
Why don't you build out there? Why don't you revamp the other two stations where it's not residential like ours is?
okay.
My building is right there.
I have another station next to, you can look at that Oakton River Road, it's exactly the same thing next to the residential. Same drawing. Exactly the same, Oakton and River Road, next to the residential, exactly the same drawing. Next to the residential, Oakton and River Road. So,
You have more places than that you could build up.
and by the way, to answer George, there will be no gaming machine. Absolutely not. Afterwards, I mean, I don't know, what should I give you some kind of affidavit? There will be no gaming machine?
No,
I'll be happy to give you the affidavit.
give me an affidavit saying that you're not going up with the building.
I mean, I would have to check with the Shell corporate office, see what they have to say about, because this is something that they have approved, the corporate office, and this is what they have submitted to the.
Well, how could they approve it if we've never had a meeting?
No, because they have to approve with the city of Chicago, and that's why we call the community meeting, so we'll let the corporate office know whatever your feedback is.
I asked you about liquor.
okay,
So there's
okay.
no,
what-
no gaming. and
I
gaming's
asked
not-
you about
gaming's
liquor,
not
you
Yeah,
allowed.
no
brushed
liquor.
that
No,
aside.
no, he's not brushing it aside. I just wanted, I
Are you gonna
asked him
sell
not to.
liquor there or not?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Okay, real simple.
And we can get all that
Answer the
right.
question.
No
We can
liquor,
get
no
that in
gaming
writing.
machine.
Get that in writing too.
Yes,
Because if he has problems outside of his establishment and he's got a liquor license, he's in trouble. Those are dram
Agreed.
shop, laws.
Agreed.
Sorry,
Well, he's in trouble because the city, I know everybody's heard stories of. gaming.
I know you do, but
There's no, it's not legal to have the gaming.
Unless you.
no,
have
these
liquor license.
people are giving you the problems and you're putting God almighty dollar in front of it. That's what you guys are doing.
Hey, council.
Yes, yes, sir.
What remark what you said, that there's no slot machines here legal in the city of Chicago. You're correct, no legal slot machines, but
Sure.
right now, they have the sweepstakes machines. They're in bars, they're in pubs, they're in everywhere else. So he could get those in his establishment. So what you're saying right now, it's not legal for a slot machine, because the only way you could have a slot machine, legal slot machines here in the state of Illinois, it goes hand in hand with a liquor license. So if he has no liquor license, he cannot have a slot machine if made legal here in the city of Chicago, which it's not currently. But the sweepstakes machines are here. So you are not gonna have sweepstakes machines, correct?
that is correct, and it's all recorded.
Okay, what about, what happened? We all more or less agreed to 2 years ago about all the upgrades that you were coming up with. It was beautiful. I'll be the first to tell you, it was beautiful. You weren't going up, everything was fine. And what happened to that agreement?
Mike, it was, the second floor was there even at that time.
I don't remember.
I can forward you that email with Pat, and you were with us,
Yeah,
we were together.
right, we did.
There was a second floor in 2020.
And what are we gonna do here? We still have the same problems. Here, there's no one here in this room that wants to take this business from you or your family. Please, remember that. You've been in our community for 28 years. We all know you. And you're a good man. I'll be the first to say it, and I'll say it till I die. You're a good man. But man, you're letting these people come and urinate in front of our children, my daughter-in-law was 4 months pregnant. She was getting groceries out of her car. They were shooting in your gas station. She had to dive underneath her car. We don't want that. You need to, Eric, you need to watch the community. You need to take care of us. You wanna be a good neighbor. You're not being a good neighbor. That's not being a good neighbor. A good neighbor has security guards. A good neighbor has the bathrooms open to the public. A good neighbor, when he sees somebody urinating on his property, calls the police and tells them to come here and get this guy. That's what a good neighbor does. A good neighbor doesn't build and take away a man's house that he's had for 125 years and obstructs the view. And that's not a good neighbor. We want to be good neighbors. Listen, you know what the property taxes are. Every one of us here, we pay over $10,000 a year to live in Armour Square Park. And yeah, we might be crybabies, but you want to know something? The reason we're crybabies, we pay a lot of money to be here. We need you to help us and to be a good neighbor. Mr. Passarelli, he shouldn't have to go through this.
Right.
This man, that's his building, that's his livelihood, his parents, his family, that's his family.
Yeah.
Talk about you being here 28
In
years.
fact, I
That's
called
what,
Mike to come to
150
the
years?
neighborhood, he don't, he
No
don't
avoids
come
that.
to the neighborhood.
Say it again.
I said, I call you to come to the, he's always in Florida, so I always call him to come back to your home.
You know
He
what?
always refused to come.
Because you wanna know why? Because I'm afraid to be there. Because of what goes in and out. You
So
wanna know the truth?
there will be additional cameras.
So,
Not just the 31st Street problem, that's a whole
Right.
neighborhood problem.
Agreed.
And that's
So-
a whole, like, less police in our neighborhood, that's not his problem, so. That's another problem for the alderman, we need more police in this neighborhood, we need them to come when we call, like, that's a neighborhood
We
problem.
need them to do their
I was
job.
just gonna
Right.
say, we need to
We
have
need
them.
them to-
let them do their-
Let them do their job
Let them do
and
their job.
actually arrest people, like, I'm sorry, and I don't wanna go on a
That's the
different
mayor's
tangent,
fault.
but even at
And the
the house
previous
party
mayor.
that was on 42nd and Emerald,
President,
where all
previous
these kids walk into a gas station, again, a gas station, take whatever they want and just walk out, and
Yeah.
nobody gets arrested. How does this happen?
And, you know,
Like, how does this happen? We need to start arresting people. And the cops have their hands tied. They
Yeah.
literally do. They can't do their job because they
Right.
take them to the station and they let them out.
Right.
And there's no fear of anybody. There's no fear of getting arrested. There's, like Mike said, they're just like, or like Peter said, just in the alley going, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do? Because they know that we can't do anything. As a community, we lived here all of our lives. People are leaving in droves. I talk to people in the neighborhood all the time. I wanna leave. I want to my daughter lives on 41st and Emerald. A house party out of control. My grandkids. I was appalled. Appalled. Dancing on the roof of the garage? Are you kidding me? I gotta worry that my grandkids are gonna get shot? It's not okay. I know you can only do what you can do, but we're telling you as a community, we're tired. We're tired of the crime. We're tired of not getting stuff done. We've been here. We are diehards. I love my neighborhood. I don't wanna move, but I can't stay. I cannot stay if I'm afraid for my grandkids, everybody. It's just not okay. It's not, I understand it's not the neighborhood that it was. I understand that. But nobody, like Michael says, we pay a lot of taxes. Nobody should be afraid to be in their neighborhood. I heard this man say he doesn't want to come home from Florida because he's afraid. That's sad. That's sad. What's the solution? I mean, we need a solution.
what's that? With this
I'm
expansion.
sorry, I went off on
No,
tangent.
it's okay.
But I'm upset.
With this expansion.
You're
right,
you're
right.
Okay.
You're 100% right what you say.
Mhm.
With this expansion, is gonna bring more bad people.
Refresh.
It's gonna bring more bad people. Okay.
Well, let's just,
Go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
there's a lot of improvements to this new facade, new brick building, new landscaping.
What does that mean?
Okay. Okay.
Put 100 cameras there, you could put security guards there, they don't listen to the police. You think they're gonna listen to a security guard? Sure, it helps,
So,
but it doesn't.
I was hard crank.
Improving the property makes it nice for everyone.
Not really.
Not really. Nobody can forget.
My house, and I'm cleaning once a week.
We're not bringing more.
The last
Okay.
security guard you had there got stabbed.
Yeah,
You got stabbed and no more security guards.
I mean,
okay, can we let Azam answer? And then, sir, I know you had a question too. I didn't forget about you. So I made a couple of notes, as I'm listening to everything that people are saying. I heard a question earlier, how many employees are there? Because you wanted to hear about the break room. Azam, how many employees do you have?
so right now, 6.5,
And how many people are there per shift?
about 3 people.
And so right now, they have that little area that's behind the counter and basically a closet behind. That's why they're looking for the space upstairs. I want to just say how many employees. Next question I had was, you've already stated no liquor, no gambling, no sweepstakes. That's on the recording. Rich will work with you on whatever we need to do to memorialize that. There was a question about bathrooms. And again, I wasn't here before. So was there a commitment from you to the community made about making sure that the bathrooms were
Okay.
public previously?
This is, and, you know, this is an ongoing problem. Like not too long ago, someone smashed all my fixtures. And we just replaced it not too long ago, all the fixtures. I mean, it's so hard to deal with some of these people. I don't know what they had in mind, they smashed all my fixtures.
So would we?
All.
Okay, so let him answer. I'm gonna jump in too. Please, you guys, please, can we? All I ask is that we speak one at a time and that we be respectful in here. We're having this meeting because you asked for it. So that's what we're doing. So please just go ahead and answer the question.
So this is ongoing. I mean, someone has smashed all my fixtures, but they have been replaced now. So it's up and running. But like I said, nowadays I don't know who comes in here, I mean, we do not have a camera inside the toilet.
You know who does this, come on.
Huh?
Bad people.
Okay,
Yes.
just go ahead
So-
and let him finish, please. And then I'm going to chime in too, please. Okay, go ahead.
But right now it's all, in fact, the Shell corporate office, we do have a mystery shopping and they do not make announcement. It's not only my side, any other side, and it's not only in USA, any other country, this is their procedure. They do a mystery shopping and announce. And God bless you. And there was a notice when the fixtures was broke. So we had they give you 72 hours to replace those fixtures. And they come back after those 72 hours, sometimes they come one after later, and they do check and then they pass it. So we do get those numbers back, you know, the deficiency that we have on the image report, we do.
Are
But
the
they want
washrooms
to
gonna
see,
be outside or inside?
I'm sorry?
Are the washrooms gonna be outside or inside?
Good question.
The
Bathroom,
washrooms.
washroom gotta be inside.
The entry. Well, the outside, the washroom's on the outside right now, correct?
Oh, the entrance.
Okay.
Entrance. Oh, you didn't see those. I'll email you the drawing.
Just tell him where, if you're
Are
to
they
access,
inside the building
hold
or
on.
inside the building?
to access the bathrooms, do you go inside the main shop or is it only from the outside? That's the question that's
Oh,
being asked.
it's from the outside.
No, that's no good. That's no good. It should be in the inside. Why can't it be on the
From
inside?
outside.
Oh, that's,
Why?
that's a good question. I can ask it with the Shell office.
Why the Shell office? It's used. You don't get it.
No, no.
I mean,
Peter, if they're inside or outside, they ain't gonna use it anyway.
Exactly.
They're
But
gonna
at
use my
least-
building
at
and
least-
your alley.
at least they're not lingering around the bathroom door on the outside. Let them linger inside.
Right.
Okay. So,
Well, you agree, well, they go in the
Azam.
alley,
Yeah.
and they go in the alley.
Azam, I know
Put 'em
the
on the
point,
other
the
side.
point of you saying this about the fixtures being broken and secret shoppers, you're trying to keep Shell happy with the secret shoppers. The community has a point with, if you're locking people out of the bathrooms there, where are people going? Now, to your point too, look, I've seen people piss all over this neighborhood,
Mhm.
not in my own alley. Okay, so it's not,
Not as much as we deal with.
And it's not a competition, okay? And
I
I,
didn't
like,
think it is a
yeah,
competition, because that's what we go through every day.
I understand. I'm trying to acknowledge the fact that what he's saying is, and I'm agreeing with you, Michael,
I know.
like, who's got to deal with that, right? So this is part of what you need to hear. And then we would like for you to address this, okay? Now, cameras and security. So was there a commitment made to have security on the premises? I'm also gonna ask you about calling police, because I've called police from that gas station before.
You weren't up
Yeah.
to date with this, what Pat signed off on and what he did sign off on?
When I came in,
Oh, yeah.
it was already done.
Okay, you
Yeah.
didn't look at all this and see what's going on?
Then why have you
No.
got us here now? If it's already
It was
done?
requested.
Because it was requested, I heard from the
Just a meeting.
community.
No changes.
I thought, because we were involved in that first. We were under the impression that this was not a done deal with Patrick. This
So-
was not a done deal. It was gonna be put on hold. He was gonna close at nighttime. He was gonna get a security guard. He was gonna get his bathrooms working again. And then revise this and go at it again at a later date. We did not know that this was a done deal. This was
And I-
done under the table.
And
behind our backs.
And look, I'm sorry, like, and when I got here, it was already done. Like, I've done no zoning change for them at all. Like, the way I do zoning here is just like this. We have a meeting, everything is recorded, there are questions,
I
like,
just feel like before you came in this meeting, you should have known what was signed off on with Pat. So,
so what was signed off on? I did see the plans for. I
What was the
did,
date? What was the date it was signed off?
I can look that up to see when the zoning change was actually done. That I can get back to, and I can't look it up.
Look it up now? Oh,
Not,
here.
not like that. Do you have that?
I don't have my complete file, but it was,
So in the
Early
meantime, while we're
2022.
looking that up.
it was early
Could I-
20.
Yeah,
could I approve
yeah,
these pictures?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
So these are a few pictures here and, sir, you could state that this is in fact your gas station, correct?
Yeah, this looks like.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So you said you have 8 cameras currently working. Did your 8 cameras capture this woman dancing on top, twerking on top of your gas pump? Did those cameras capture that? How about, did they capture?
How long ago?
Hang on. How about did they capture this fight?
I mean, you
How
need to
about,
tell me.
did they capture this fight?
We have the
And,
dates for
and
those
this
photos.
fight? How
I,
about the drinking? There's
How about the bullet
a
holes?
handle of
How about the bullet
Tito's
holes in his window?
and drinking over here. Did they capture that? So what did
you
those
need
8
to tell
cameras
me
do?
what
What are-
date. I mean,
If the 8 cameras didn't do anything and you didn't do anything to correct it, what are the 24 cameras gonna do?
No.
Absolutely nothing.
no,
You have to do something. So Mike said, he vouched for you, he said, you're a good guy. You might be a good guy, but tell you what, buddy, you're a horrible neighbor. Because neighbors don't do this to each other.
I respect your opinion.
So here's all the pictures. I'm gonna pass it around. Everybody look and see what kind of establishment and the people that your gas station attracts.
you know
Why?
how-
So here as a neighbor and as a person, you gotta ask, why is your gas station attracting all of this? With no alcohol,
This was 2 years ago.
with no alcohol, why is your
Well, it
gas
was
station
2
attracting
years
this?
ago. I don't
Hang
know.
on, hang on. Why is your gas station attracting this type of people? Number one, thank you for closing at nighttime. That diminished
That
a lot
helped a
of it.
lot.
Yes, it did.
But is it the drug paraphernalia, lunch, Swisher sweets, rolling papers that you sell? Is that why they're coming in there? They're not coming in there for alcohol. What are they coming in there for? Your gas station, sell gas, pop, that. Maybe you should get rid of the rolling papers, get rid of Swisher sweet. I've been a cigar smoker for 35 years. I ain't never once smoked a Swisher sweet or a blunt. They use that for a reason. They put marijuana in, they roll it up and they smoke that. Maybe get rid of those. Get rid of the rolling papers. Stop the people coming there. Stop that kind of crowd that comes there. You want good citizens coming there to buy your gas, buy your pop cigarettes, lotto, fine. Why attract all this other shit at nighttime? You know what I'm saying? Even during the day.
I can post,
There's
can you
more.
please tell me how long those,
It doesn't matter, because this is an ongoing
no, what I'm
problem.
saying, I can pull my camera.
I understand, but this is
I
an
can-
ongoing problem. Everything you see here,
Yes,
it's ongoing.
okay.
And you know that, Ellen.
And all the information pictures, I have the dates, because when I'm walking out in the middle of the day, because I work from home.
Yeah, with the
these people
dog, yeah,
get to
I see all the
Yeah, I
time.
know, I see it all
Yeah.
the time too. So this is what I get to see on top of having people scream. I'm on meetings and I have black people fucking yelling. It's embarrassing. I have to go upstairs in a quiet room sometimes to try and focus. This is what I have to see. And now I have a 4-year-old daughter that I barely can let go by the front door, who has to look at a black man peeing. How would any of you feel if you saw that? How would you feel if this was your house? I got shot at when I was fucking
Mr.
pregnant.
Botica got a beautiful home right across the street from your gas station, when he can't sit outside. He would love to sit outside and have a cup of coffee. Do you think he wants to sit outside and look at that? All your little trees and this and that is not gonna stop the bad people from coming in. It's just gonna bring more
Only
by
gets worse.
expanding it. And having more stuff, having cheese fries and hot dogs.
In this,
It's just crazy.
revamping of it, lots of trash bins need to
So-
be put up.
And when I come in, if I $2 worth of gasoline,
I think you saying my station is not clean outside?
Oh, it's
It
clean
blows.
because it all blows around into my front
Yeah.
yard.
It
I'll-
blows.
I'll-
So can you,
Across the street by us.
When you close off Wall Street, is that gonna be a solid wall so that all that doesn't blow onto Wall Street?
Cause whether they're throwing it out the window or your employees are not cleaning out the garbage.
I saw it
cans,
when you brought it over, yeah. Do you want,
There's.
is this for me to keep?
Little bags of,
I
from
think,
the drugs, from the.
So there must be an ordinance that says you can't build up to hide my house.
In fact, I
It's
was,
just the opposite. but-
yeah, so let me come back to you to address the garbage question. So great that you raised that. How often do you send people out to pick up, not just on your property, but around the property too? Because you should be picking up around, because that, if the litter is being generated by your gas station, you should be multiple times a day.
You will see a floor person all the time. He goes there all the time, and every time we have a camera inside too, that they can see if any litter, any can or whatever, they're always picked up.
Yeah.
We have no complaint whatsoever. But as far as to answer your question, what we are doing is, there will be a fence there.
I just said
They're gonna fence there and fence, and plus there will be some flowers too. So
Why do
everything.
I thought
Is that gonna stop
I got a
everything from
4-foot
blowing out?
brick wall
Yeah.
going all the side of Wall
Yeah,
Street.
brick wall would be.
Yes.
So can we get, I would like for you to come back to us as this. After all this is done and we've talked about the things that you've agreed to, I'd like to be able to see a schedule, a daily schedule, and then I would like for you to keep a log so that people know that this is being done,
Absolutely.
okay? Cause that cleanliness,
All the way, all the way.
yeah, well.
What is,
I'm
what
asking
is
you to
being
do
done?
that.
I don't want anything hiding my building. I've been there 80 years. I don't want anything coming in front of my building.
I understand that, sir,
Oh, well,
that
then if you understand it, tell them that. then.
I cannot stop him from doing that.
And what is your position here?
I'm the alderman.
What is the alderman supposed to do?
He has the right to, with the zoning that he has, to build up to that height.
Where did he get that zoning?
That-
Where did he get that?
So I was the person who was here before me. I didn't provide that.
I don't wanna hear that before you or after you.
But it's the truth, sir.
Don't you have to contact the people next to you and tell them what you're doing?
All of those notifications went out.
Never went up, there, never saw anything
Okay,
that says you're gonna build up.
so here's the thing, everybody, and I know so much of what's being said tonight is super unsatisfactory to pretty much everybody in the room. The facts are that the zoning change was done before my time, and I can't speak to what happened before. I stepped in when I did, and when we stepped and we met, it was about getting their plans approved.
So the
and through-
neighborhood don't want this, and there's nothing we could do.
So I'm gonna get to that. So
Okay.
there's still, if you would like to, there is public comment at the zoning board of appeals where you can attend and you can provide your public comment there. That is the last place that you
That's
have an
nothing.
opportunity.
Nothing's gonna happen there.
So-
Can't you go for us? Because you were elected to speak for us and on behalf of us. Can't you go to that meeting instead of everybody taking off work and disrupting our own families? Can you go there and tell the zoning board of appeals, hey, my community does not want this? Can you do that?
Do you work for us or do you work for
Yeah.
the?
I,
I don't
I
understand it.
represent the ward.
Okay.
And
He is
what-
also,
This is.
listen,
Oh, here, yeah.
I understand that, and the zoning board of appeals, what they do is they look at the law and the regulations of whatever the request is being done, and if it meets it, they approve that.
Do they
I-
come out? Do they come out and look at the neighborhood? Do they come out and see we have a handicap people right next door that use the alley all the time? Handicap people
No.
with wheelchairs. And there's cars speeding through our alley all the time because of the gas station. Because of the gas station.
In an alley?
In the alley.
Okay, we can request, if, I have not seen it, but if you have seen it,
Oh, on what?
we can ask for the bumps, I mean, we can ask.
Bumps.
Because in my house, they put a couple extra bumps in an alley by my house.
We have them in there. We have them. I have one right next to the side of my house.
No,
A
but
bump in my
someone
house.
took it, we had it, but I think someone took it out.
Because.
Yeah, we
because-
had to take ours off
Because there was,
flooding our,
there
Your
was
garage.
flames, the garages.
yeah.
Yeah, so we can cut it maybe.
But that doesn't, you know that don't help. Come on.
No, it makes, I mean, in my neighborhood, just like, yeah,
So-
Chicago.
Everybody,
Yeah, put
Look.
10 of them in there.
the gas station is there, even if no changes are made, the gas station will still be there. So
We
I
understand.
wanna focus on the issues that we can try to address.
We understand that
Which-
100%.
I need for your staff, when they see stuff, they have to call 911. Please, they have to call 911.
100%, yeah.
You
Because
talk
if they're
about,
not-
This, how long you been saying that?
they talk about beautiful.
How long has he been there and this is happening?
What about,
They're
what about
shooting at
the,
his, they're shooting right at your building.
I
Did
mean,
they shoot at you? They knocked, they broke through your door.
They
Yeah.
stole the, machine.
no, no.
what about
they never
what about
shoot
the
at me.
bars on the front of the
Oh,
building?
come on.
They never
It
shoot at
looks
me.
like
I mean,
we're on
I can,
87th and the damn.
Not at you, at
And
your
those are gonna be
building.
removed on the
They shot at
8th
your
And then
door.
the new version, when they break the
steal
windows.
right out of
yeah,
your
yeah,
building.
They might put bars
that
back
was
there.
like
Okay.
3 years ago, right? Yeah, you're talking about the ATM machine, right? Yeah, that was 3
If you
years
wanna
ago.
be a good neighbor,
No, Mike, I have no, yeah, like I said, whatever.
yeah, but you're not, you're hurting everybody.
Yeah.
You're hurting everybody here.
I mean, I'm very happy to see you all. It has been such
Yeah,
a
but-
long time
Yeah, but
since I
we're
see
all,
you guys.
and we're all here against you.
Yeah.
Don,
And I don't wanna be against you.
No,
I really don't.
You always bring me a gift on Christmas,
Yes.
Okay,
every year.
so
Can we just say one thing?
go ahead.
Mr. Cicerelli has been in this neighborhood longer than 4 of us combined. You understand? What you guys are doing to his building, it's not right, man. It's not right. Alderman, you have to step up and help him. That's his building for over 80 years. Would you like somebody coming to your mother and father's building and say, guess what? We're just gonna build. There you go. There you go. We just built this. Your mother and father had it for 100 years. What do you say? Oops, zoning? You don't say zoning. You, as the alderman, you gotta do this. This is why you were elected. Yeah, maybe I didn't vote for you, but guess what? I'm stuck with you.
I could understand in the middle of block, someone building a home and you block someone a home. I can understand that. But when you have a business and he's got 100 other problems other than not wanting to go high. I mean, it's just pounding on top of the guy. He doesn't want to go up. Don't want to block his view. He's worried about people pissing. He's worried about people alongside of his building. They can't sleep at night.
Alderwoman, 2022, we had this meeting, right, with Patrick Thompson, am I correct?
There were, apparently there were 2 meetings.
With 2025, we're here talking about the same bullshit. The same stuff that he said he was gonna correct.
No, we were going through the drawings with the different step at the city hall.
But no.
I know,
we're
but the
talking
point
about
is,
the
they're,
same
the issues
crime.
are the same. So
Same issues.
that they haven't been addressed
take my plate?
by the neighbors, right?
They
So
have not.
the
You're
part,
right.
the closing of the hours made a difference. We've already conceded that, okay?
Absolutely.
And look, I want to focus on the things that we can control. And I know that there's so much emotion in here. I don't live there, so I'm not suggesting that I know what that feels like at all, okay? And I can feel it in the room and I've heard it from lots of people. There's lots of concerns around this. I want to focus on the things that we can actually influence. Whether he is able to expand or not at this point, not even what I'm talking about. No matter what, there's still a gas station there. There are the issues that come with a gas station being located right next to a highway. Okay, so this is where I'm going back to, and I know you said, how long have I been? I've been here for 3 years. I know this has been here for 28 years. I've only been with the neighborhood here as the alderman for the last 3 years, and I'm gonna tell you the same thing that I tell everybody, we need people to call the police, because not everybody does.
I call the police all the time, all the time. 'cause I
Police
get
are
called up and I
overwhelmed.
get phone calls all the
They're
time.
Yes, ma'am, go
overwhelmed.
ahead.
Why
can't they have police protection 24 hours
Yeah.
on their
Yeah.
corner? Have a policeman, and you will see, they're not gonna come. They'll see the policeman standing there.
That's
Why
a good
can't
point.
they have,
She's making a good.
why can't they
That's
have
something you
police
can do.
protection 24 hours?
What I can do, yes, is
It's
work
something
with,
you can
is
do.
work
Not
with the
the same
ninth district.
officer, change shifts.
I
but
can try to work
let
with the
them
ninth
see that
district
There's police
to
protection.
get
There's
more,
none now.
I don't want to make a statement that is absolute. There are very few places in the city of Chicago that are monitored 24/7 by the police department, okay? We're not going to talk about the mayor's security detail. That's what I was thinking. But the reality is, and you said it earlier, we don't have enough police. So we're stressed. And so what happened? Yeah, they are overwhelmed, and what the police are in a position to do constantly is have to manage priorities, which is why when you call 911, you're not actually getting the police, you're getting OAMC. Someone's gonna route the call based on how severe the issue is. Can we do more patrols? Can I work with the ninth district on that? 100% I can, and I will.
Okay.
Councilwoman, they're on the-
How many
on the
times,
district. They're
if
taking
you
up
work
all of
with
our
the ninth
resources.
district, we wanna see some stats of how many times the police were called to his establishment. He's lucky that we're not going all out to close him down for all of this stuff. How many times? Do you have that stat? How many times have the police
I mean,
come there?
the city of Chicago, they do have a record for it.
It's not numbered.
So is that fence gonna
Something-
remain on the alley?
I'm sorry,
Is the fence gonna remain on the alley?
is the fence going to
Yeah,
remain on the
half
alley?
of, yes, half of it, yes. We can show you the drawing
And it's
again.
gonna be a driveway.
There will be no driveway.
Pete, how many times did they call the cops?
Cause
We
the
wanna know
problem we
that.
had before was there was a
Ever?
guardrail. Everyone would climb over the guardrail to go
So-
urinate in the alley, so
Yeah.
that's why they,
That's
You
why
put
we
up a
need-
higher
I mean, that fence,
then
that fence was perfect for
the
us.
fence deterred everyone from going into the alley, but then we had to pull the bushes out from out in front of our house and put concrete. Because then we had people urinating between the bushes by the parked cars. So now I have concrete because
They're all-
they have nowhere to hide.
all-
Yes, yes, I'm listening. I'm just trying to get back to the slide.
There was supposed to be a fence going all the way across on the alley side. And when a truck came in to put the gas in,
They were gonna
that
open it.
fence rolls back. The truck pulls in. On Wells Street, there's a fence. Nobody gets in, nobody gets out. 31st Street, you have two, an in and an out. That's the way them plans were
And-
done before,
Uh-huh. I believe they are still
okay?
like that. So correct me if I'm, and the architect is here. There's the two out to 31st Street, the one instead of the two, reduced from two on Wells. And then the alley access, because the fuel truck does need to come in that way. But you're saying that the fence, there used to be a swing gate?
There was
There-
supposed to be
there
a,
was-
that was the
No.
plan,
Okay.
that there was gonna be a gate there on rollers. So they would pull, when the gas truck would come, it would stay
They would
closed
open
all
the gate.
day.
Okay.
Yes.
Then when the gas truck would come, whoever was working would
Could open it
open
up.
it, move it, the gas truck pulls in, fills the tanks.
So-
Wells Street, you got two more parking spots on Wells Street because those two,
Are gonna cover the driveway?
are supposed to be gone.
Yeah.
So the only entrance you were supposed to have was on 31st Street.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Just.
Oh, so they were originally supposed to
That's what
close both?
originally it was.
Yes, yes.
Don't
Okay.
tell me no.
Yeah.
Pat Thompson said he would close those driveways on Wells Street and put a row of trees there. Remember, he said evergreen trees, so
Yeah.
you can't see anything and there was supposed to be all landscape there.
Yeah,
The only driveways there accessible to the gas station have been from 31st Street.
The trucks couldn't get in.
I can forward
that's
that
why the
drawing.
trucks were coming in on the alley
A
side.
fuel truck legally is not supposed to go on a residential
We
street.
got Robert Storage right here. He was with us, with the alderman, when he said that about their rolling gate, correct? About the rolling gate on the gate, on the alley, yes.
So there's not a rolling gate currently in this plan.
Yeah, because we closed one of the driveway.
On
Okay.
Wells, but not from the alley. So from the alley is what they're asking about.
Yeah. From the alley, what we
He says
did-
handicapped people, how
From
can
the
you
alley-
make that an exit when handicapped people go through the alley all the time, and you're gonna make cars pull off the highway and zoom in a lot. And there's people from the old folks home that go through, use the alley all day, all day.
So,
So in the past, so it was open, so what we did, we bring the trash enclosure inside, so we have a trash closer inside. And then we also have I mean, can you pull that screen so you can see it?
which
I
one?
think you were on a good screen, probably.
Yeah.
If you go back, that's just the first floor, we want a site plan.
This?
That's good enough.
Yeah,
So
so,
we're talking about over
right,
here.
right.
The fence goes about halfway up. past
So
the parking
it's
spaces.
all blocked right here, and from here, what you have is the bump. So people cannot zoom in, it's only for the,
What side is that?
That's.
the alley
That's
side.
the corner right by the alley.
Yeah, that
What
was supposed to be a gate.
so it's only, this is what the opening is, and it's all closed off from
Why
here.
did we take the gate away? Come on.
Why are we taking the gate away? The gate was there, that was perfect, why did we take that away?
I have not seen the gate in a drawing, I can forward you that email. I have not seen the
We
gate.
talked about it.
I have not-
It was
you haven't?
talked about.
We talked about it. We talked about it. You walked it with us. Well,
You
Robert,
have,
with,
you have that
with the
email?
alderman.
You
I
have,
have no emails.
okay,
Well, we talked about it. So you're gonna say, no, we didn't?
I'm gonna tell you, it was.
I'm not saying, no, what
it
I'm
was
saying,
a-
it was,
it was
this
a
is what,
free-
this is what we have
This
incorporated.
is what you guys did behind the back doors.
Have,
We weren't here to make these drawings.
there is no behind door,
Oh,
I'm not sure which.
okay.
I don't know.
So-
Now let's get to the second floor. Miss Alderman, if we have to go downtown and we get a group of people, are you gonna come with us to represent us?
I will come downtown to meet you guys there, yes, and I will talk about every single thing that you guys have and make sure that everybody knows.
Alderperson.
No.
Why can't you represent us?
Has a date been scheduled? before
May
the zoning-
6th, May 16th is the date of the zoning board of
Are folks in this
appeals.
room Aware of the date and time?
They were supposed to be, Rich, you can tell me this,
Right, but
was
that
it, when,
seems to have been an issue in the past.
which is why I'm asking, yeah,
Besides being in your newsletters,
yeah.
the zoning board of appeals itself mails out notices of the dates to
So
everybody else.
those notices come on a little card.
Right, and would it be possible for council to give the alderman, the alderperson, a copy of the application so that the folks in this room can understand what relief, what specific relief they're seeking in advance of their
Yeah.
hearing?
Absolutely,
So that they. can
100%.
And one other suggestion, I understand. He's in a liquor moratorium district, right?
I'm not sure, I believe
Okay.
that is the case, but I don't know that off the top of my head.
Would he be, you know, if there's not a liquor license there at the time, right now? But would the applicant be willing to enter into a voluntary plan of operation as if it did have a liquor store? Something that would be enforceable by the Department of License and Consumer Affairs?
I'd have to talk to BACP to understand
Mm-hmm.
if they could, if that would be something that's enforceable, not related to a liquor license.
but would
Because
they-
it is 100%
But would
enforceable.
the
with the-
applicant is a good neighbor, be willing to do this voluntarily? So that everything is in writing instead of in a recording out in the cloud? And everybody can understand this contract that the applicant would have with the community and his neighbors.
I'm not the applicant. So, I mean,
But
Would-
Rob is it.
Yes.
Would you be willing to do that?
so just to recap, to commit to, again, no liquor, no gambling, no
Right.
sweepstakes machines.
And no building up.
In a
product
study by Shell.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
In a product study by Shell, because you know that they have had these challenges before, it's a very big company. And they can, I'm certain, do a product study, take it out of a drawer to find out and to exclude certain products that draw undesirables. We will ask you to get that product study and also. And I ask you one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead,
How many square feet are you adding?
They're not.
I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
The
Let
building's gonna
him,
be about an extra 1,500 square feet.
The building's gonna go 10.
Hold on.
Hold on.
1,500? 1,500.
Correct.
Would you be,
Is that about right, Mario? Am I
I'm
off?
not sure, counting this, it's
Michael?
500 on the west side, plus the second floor, which is, I don't have the dimensions here, but it's probably 800, gonna be like a 1,300 total, but 500 on grade on the first floor. Yeah,
okay,
on the
500 on
west-
the first floor, what on the, how much on the second floor?
800.
800.
800, and you can't design that away from Mr. Pasquarelli's
About
building?
556 on the first floor, I think.
I bet you that could be done. I've seen where the gas station is relative to the building,
930 on the second floor.
and there is I'm certain a possibility that you can build the second floor in Mr. Pasquarelli's backyard rather than next to his building.
I mean, definitely we have to talk to the owner and verify that it can be done. So-
Let me back up. I
Yeah.
don't think there was really a clear answer on this. But can we get, would it be possible for the applicant to provide his application to the older person? We can post it on either your.
Yeah, I can post a link to it,
So
not a
that
problem.
everybody can have access to it, to know
Yes.
specifically what's being asked for in advance.
What, when you say what's being asked for, can you,
The relief that there's.
oh, for the ZBA application,
Correct.
sorry, I just wanted to make sure I understood what you're
Right,
asking.
together with the date, time and location. So that there's never any question about notice. This way, somebody didn't get the mail, they can go to your website, they can go to the 11th Ward website. Or webpage and find it. It's there for everybody. Make it transparent and user friendly.
Yeah, I'm happy to, like I said, I record all of these meetings, I'm focused on transparency since day one when I walked into
I
this
understand.
office, okay? So happy to put that on, I'll get it from Mr. Toth and then I will
Sure.
post it along with the
I don't
information
know
that you
when it goes up.
requested.
The zoning board of appeals posts the applications, but it may not be up for May yet. I'm not quite
It's
sure.
probably early for me yet, yeah.
Could you go back? This is not, I'm not gonna make anybody happy here, but I'll just point one thing.
How far
Go
back?
back to that
Keep
aerial
going.
view.
Sorry,
Near
there's a lot of floor plan slides.
Maybe back one more.
That one?
So, yeah, so the second floor is sort of in the middle of our gas station building, which is, so it's sort of past the back edge of the building to the south there. I know it's not, I know I'm not gonna win anybody over, but it's been shifted to the back of that building.
So that it would, so that it wouldn't be blocking more of your. Sorry.
So you can build your extension there, you see where the building ends. And maybe, you're an architect, right? I'm certain that, just by the eye, that can be done.
Your windows are, I think,
great.
your windows, but I'm gonna look at it, I'll get back to you. Your windows are not covered or anything. But I don't
It's the
hold me
back
on this.
porch he's worried about.
I'll bring you the actual drawing and pictures and everything.
What's that? It's the back porch he's worried about. He sits out on the back porch.
Hmm?
The back porch.
Yes.
That's what he's concerned about.
Oh, I thought you about the window, about
That's
the.
not what I was hearing, but okay.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. Are there windows on this back part of the,
Yes, that's what we did, the setback, the building.
so windows back
Oh,
here?
no, and the front building, the other one's the garage, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just, the point I'm making here is that if you had windows, I would ask you not to put windows there because that would be looking out onto his yard. That's, and yours at that point, but there, so you're confirming there are no windows on the backside.
Certainly you can get enough square footage in the yard. I'm just eyeing it right now. That's okay.
I think so.
That's crazy too.
But to the west of the building, that's great.
No, we're talking about the second, the.
Whatever they do, you're gonna affect you
Like the second
somewhere.
floor going
Back
by.
and front.
Second
So-
floor going up.
Towards the alley.
Why do you wanna make an
The
office?
yard is, I'll just put the whole.
You don't have it, you haven't had an office in 20 years. Why would you wanna put an office?
You have to look at the space where the clerks work. That's the workspace. You should go in there and take
That's
a
what?
look at that. The area where the clerks are, that's the only space to
We
work.
share.
Are there additional bathrooms being added?
Are you adding bathrooms?
Yes,
How many bathrooms are you adding?
one more.
On what
So there'll
side?
be 2 bathrooms.
It should be on the drawing, it should be on the drawing.
So.
I
Yeah,
don't
the
inside. Inside, there's one outside.
Well, the inside is for the employees, we understand.
So the bathrooms are here?
Yeah, there is one inside, and because, you know, we having an ongoing problem, they broke our fixtures, all that, so we had one inside too, just in case, but that will be like a backup bathroom for the inside one.
So why can't they all be inside? Why can't all the bathrooms be on the inside?
I mean,
That's an architect, you can do that.
Stations, they're in,
Was that-
allowed into the
That's
bathroom.
an architect.
Okay.
I mean,
All of it.
Yes.
Can't we just put all the bathrooms inside? One bathroom that he's talking about that's inside is for. Not even for the customer.
So,
The other two that are outside are for the customer.
That are locked.
We need those inside. He needs to handle.
That would help,
He
that
needs
would
to
help the
handle that
neighborhood.
people himself.
And it would help
That's
them
his.
too.
That would help the neighborhood tremendously by putting the bathrooms on the inside. You wouldn't see all these people come around, hanging around, the bathroom doors.
Peter, it wouldn't change anything.
You don't think so?
No, it wouldn't change
I think
anything,
so because.
because the bad element is gonna do it outside. They're not gonna go inside.
so here's what I'm gonna ask.
A little bit.
So
It looks like this is said and done. I mean, this is
Guys.
all said and done, so.
That's what we put up with now. We
So-
put up with you. You're not helping us at all. I don't see why you gotta have an upstairs, an office. You have many other businesses to put your offices in.
same as,
buying it back and doing that for a break.
I mean, I'll take you tomorrow to my another Oakton River Road, and you'll see, I'll take you in my car, and I'll give you, and I'll bring you back in an hour.
You don't have to show me anything.
So you will have a sample, you'll see the sample.
I don't need a sample.
It's
I don't
worth
want
saying,
anything. I've been there too long. I've been there 80
No, I'm
years.
talking about how it's gonna looks like it, the office and the sales area and all that.
All he needs
just a
is
republic.
to leave his building alone. The man is, come on, Mr. Pascarelli, how old are you?
86.
He's 86 years old. Does he need this, Alderman? Does he really need this? You
listen,
know how many times he voted Democrat for the Daily Family?
A million.
I'd like to have $1 every time he did. Come on, you're talking about people that have been with us, 100 years have been with this community. We gotta help him. At least help him. Help him. It's his building, man. That's something he fought for and paid for and worked for. And you guys just wanna come by and change it any way you feel like it? That's not right.
No.
it's technically
That's
not,
not
so
right.
just to be clear,
Definitely.
it's not changing his property, it's changing his property. It has an impact over there. I just want to be clear about that, okay? And look, I'm not trying to like parse words or anything like that, but also if you're a business owner someplace else
Mhm.
and you own a business and you own the property and you have the right to do something,
If the neighborhood don't want me there, I don't think I would wanna be there.
and I understand that,
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
I would wanna be there if all your neighbors are against you. We can't even put the, just so simple, put the bathrooms on the inside.
so
Don't even answer.
I'm not saying, so.
Don't wanna
here-
go higher. I mean, okay, tell the architect, okay, maybe we'll put it all the way at the end by the alley side. So he doesn't see nothing. So it'd be like a garage. It'd be like another garage.
So let me do this, okay? Again, I want to focus on the things that we can actually have an impact on as they stand today. Gas station, new or not.
But we're right now, yous are going according to these plans.
Well, that's
As of
what,
right now.
that's what they're trying to submit. Now, I would like to,
I thought
And
they
I-
submitted this already.
they've already, yes, the plans are submitted to planning and development. They have to go before the zoning board of appeals
They're still-
in order for them to be granted the special use permit for the gas station and a variance for the landscaping. Those are the two things. We'll have the application out for everybody. I would like to be able to take a minute to digest all of this, allow Azam to do that without the pressure of everything here in the room. He's heard you loud and clear, trust me. Okay, do you agree that your voices have been heard in this?
I don't know.
Well, look, and I'm not gonna guarantee you that you're gonna be satisfied. This is,
I thought he heard us loud and clear in 2022 when we went across just the
Yeah.
first time.
so again,
Obviously, it wasn't.
I
Because everything changed.
Nothing has changed,
No,
so.
no, no, I'm sorry, sir.
No, I'm sorry to
Yes,
reject.
it has.
I have not rejected nobody,
Yes, it has.
But
The wall that
2022
faces
is the-
his house.
uh-huh.
that's why I said, if you have an
It's
email,
been
send me to,
healing
or if you do not, I will
and
forward you 20.
The
We were on a
paint
Zoom
Not
call.
everything has
for
changed.
years, and he's promised them to paint and scrape and
Oh.
paint that wall.
Yeah.
I mean, a
But,
simple maintenance of.
And she has a pool back there, you know how many paint?
Not only that, but all the kids that are in the
I
backyard and
agree.
on the deck.
How about the animals?
Brand new
How about the
building.
animals we got?
Okay.
We got the dogs. They eat that paint.
This is the wall with all the paint that's
And I brought them
chipping
and showed them.
and falling off
I
into
saw
our
them.
yard.
Yeah, well,
With the girl has a daycare center next door. She has a lot of children that are there.
well,
This is the back of the building, and that's the fence that's along the back.
Right, that's
Angela,
his yard.
So he wants to put up a new building so that,
Angela.
That would
that,
be eliminated.
that part won't, that, they
Right,
also.
but they've been going on for 3
I
years.
guess, and so let me, let me finish my sentence, because they have a point. And I need you to acknowledge that, like,
Yeah.
because something wasn't maintained, and when you make I can't speak to what happened before me, you guys, okay?
Well, yes, you
I'm-
can. You have records of.
I know,
stuff.
but I literally
can't.
wasn't in the room for
And
the
you've known
conversation.
Pat for a long time.
No,
You
I
really
haven't
can't.
actually, sir. I haven't known Pat for a long time. In fact, the first time I met him was after he was already out of office.
Was our Zoom conversation we had about this in 2022, was that recorded somewhere?
I record mine. I don't believe that he recorded his, okay? So, but here's what, I can only handle things
Okay.
moving forward, everybody. So I know how much you're holding on to from before, and I know that there's not trust there, okay? I'm saying to Azam in front of everybody, and look, I try to be as fair to everybody as possible. I'm not
Right.
for one or for the other, okay? He's had a business here for 28 years. It's,
And
Has
we've been
it-
living here for
Yes.
decades and hundreds of years.
and I
so-
understand that. I understand that. And look,
Ask us who we bought the business from.
why does that,
Jerry.
why does that make a difference?
You know who I am, Razan, don't you?
No, I mean,
Yeah, you bought it from my father-in-law, Mike.
that's
Yeah.
right, and he,
Yes,
Michael
yeah.
Lusanti,
So were there, okay, so
And
I,
he's-
So
again,
there's a-
and he doesn't wanna come here, but he
You
knew what's gonna
know,
happen, he doesn't wanna come here.
When
guys,
someone steals another ATM, when you beautify the
Yeah.
building, and someone steals another ATM, are we gonna see bars all over the windows again? Like he put up now? It looks terrible. I mean,
how
He
much,
hasn't cared about this gas station for 5 years, and he done nothing. When a gate fell, it's still there, fell. It's still right where it's at, when a gate fell like last year. Go take a look at it, the gates are laying down.
What-
You know that, Azan.
What gate you
On
talking?
Wells Street, on Wells Street.
When someone knocked it down with the car, someone backed into it
Yeah,
at nighttime.
right.
How long
And
was
it
that
was
been
laying
sitting
down
like
there.
that? Or-
You were waiting for
Protected.
Shell to come to fix it?
No.
You should
No.
fix that.
No,
Get it
that-
out of the way, make it look right.
Shell doesn't
No,
have
that-
anything to do with it.
How about all the boom boxes at night, late at night? Like 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, 12. Boom, 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 and you could hear, I could hear it
No,
through my
the
windows.
store is,
And they're
the store is
closed.
closed.
Okay.
So-
But that doesn't make no difference. It'll happen
Yeah.
before midnight. I don't care.
Well,
You should be closed at 9 o'clock.
Right there.
It
we
was
can
9
look
o'clock.
at by
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
what you should be closed at 9 o'clock.
Stop. It happens even when you're closed, my
They
friend.
pull in
They
there loud.
pull in there because there's nobody.
They fucking
no
sell
security
drugs out of there.
They
They
pull
pull in there. They
It's
pull
wide
drugs.
open.
They're selling drugs out of there. Come
I think
on.
we can all
So-
agree on that the building is really old and it's crumbling and the sidewalks, there's a lot of potholes, there's a lot of damage. With this new drawing,
Yeah.
this new renovation, it could help.
Yeah, we understand that, we understand
It could
that.
help everyone.
But it's been like this for a long time,
It's
this
been a
problem.
long time.
It's been a
that this
long
has
time.
been
So-
not maintenance.
We've been hearing this for a while.
Yes.
Azam, how much is this gonna cost you to redo? Like, what is your estimate at this point of what you're reinvesting into this property?
I mean-
I've got a point coming, so please don't jump down everybody's throats.
I mean, we did not know with all, everybody's, the price all has changed now because all the pricing,
Everything's gotten more expensive,
Right.
yes.
so we do not, know- I can come up with the number.
What was the number?
What was it?
What was it a year ago, let's say?
Yeah, it was about $1 million.
I'm sure it's probably gonna be more than that.
Right.
This one, $1 million, that seems low to me actually for what you're trying to do, given today's prices. Okay,
Is this
I
all
don't-
your end or is it Shell's end too?
No, Shell was pitching in,
Okay.
but at that time, but now they are not pitching, they may not pitch in, because every year they have a budget. So it depends on what time you get into it.
he probably got approved for something when this zoning change first happened, but
Right.
it's literally been 3 years now that they were able to get here. Go ahead, ask your
You're gonna spend
question.
$1 million.
Was that
Plus,
You're gonna spend $1 million plus dollars.
the bank? Yeah,
well, you're gonna be responsible for it.
right, right.
How you gonna get your money?
Was that?
How you gonna get your money back with a break room?
I mean, I do not know, but this is, we are hoping they will get the money back, you know.
Yeah, but
Because
how?
this is something is required.
What he's saying is, well, how will a break room bring you back profit?
How would a second floor bring you profit?
Hey, John, you're smarter than that.
There's gotta be
There's something going on.
Yeah.
So he's already said that he's willing to sign an affidavit and we'll memorialize it in some sort of covenant. And we can talk.
Let him answer the question.
Yeah,
How
go
would a
ahead.
second floor,
Yes,
and how are you gonna make money with a second floor?
second floor is not making any money. The first floor will be my sales area.
Okay. So why do you need a second floor, like Mr.
I have said
Pazzarelli
it before that would be my office. My break, there will be break room
That's totally crazy.
the break room for the
Okay,
staff.
can we just say too?
You're
I-
affecting the neighborhood.
Doesn't make financial sense, my friend.
I don't,
Not at
yeah,
all.
I don't buy it.
It sounds fishy to me.
It's not.
Cause when it's done, and then they got it,
I
and then they're
respect
gonna
it.
do it a couple years down the lane, they're gonna do what they want.
Yeah, he could sign an affidavit or whatever, you know that's what's happening, they're gonna put slots in there and they're gonna put liquor. That's the motive. I can't believe it. What?
Okay,
Doesn't matter, don't get any.
everybody, can I have your attention, please?
It's very emotional,
I-
talking about what people
I
live.
get it.
Is there, now, a couple of people said, after they close at 11, 12 o'clock, people still use the light. They play the music,
Mhm.
neighborhood hears. Could they have some kind of gates that close everything up for the gas station?
Yes.
Could they have gates?
Right now.
Close
He
everything
said
up.
that
I mean,
2 years ago.
Yeah, when we were on that Zoom call, the woman, that was what we talked about. When he did close at night, because we were the ones, and Alderman Thompson got him to close at nighttime, he said he was gonna put sliding gates, closing off the whole gas station so nobody could get in there during off hours. That never happened.
They have gates like
I-
that.
Sir, do you remember that conversation?
I do not remember.
Of course.
I do not
It
remember.
was, we had it.
Where's Sorge?
Did you see it in the email?
Where's Sorge? He was in on that. Ask him.
Okay.
He was in on it, on the conversation. He should know.
Uh-huh.
Back to the liquor, he's been there for 28 years and has never sold liquor, and now it's a.
Okay.
Same for
This is the stuff we're coming up out of our ass.
I know it's not. I know it's not.
Could that be?
I-
That could,
So I've got notes on all of this. I'm not, at this point, I think everybody, he needs to think
Right.
about what all we've heard. I've taken notes, again, I have everything recorded. I'm gonna ask to debrief with them separately about the things that can actually be addressed. Again, I'm gonna do whatever we can with the conditions that they currently are, right? It is zoned for them to be able to expand. They still have to get approval by the ZBA for their plans. So that, at the end of the day, and I will always be honest with you, again, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna hate what I have to say. That is very often, it's more of a formality than anything else with this, okay?
Okay.
So I'm just trying to be straight with everybody. So again, what I wanna focus on are the things that we can hold the business owner accountable for, and that's what I'm here for. Any business owner that's a bad operator isn't doing what they need to do. I work on getting that straightened out. There was a scrapyard in Canaryville, right? That was something Chris Berry and a lot of other people were complaining about for years before I ever got here. And within 15 months, working with the community, we got that business shut down. I don't mess around when it comes to that stuff. So you,
You think this is a good businessman? Do you think coming out and looking out of your property?
No.
And watching, yeah, do you think that's good?
I just answered your question, Michael. No, I
Why
don't
aren't we
wanna.
doing anything
I-
about it?
So, listen. Are you guys, look,
wait, excuse me 1 second. Here's the ticket here. He's not doing nothing to the gas station at all right now, until he starts building the new gas station. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like, so. And it sounds like everything is set in stone, so, you know what? he's gonna have to work with us now, with the alderwoman, to get these little things that we want done. That's
Hey
what it
Pete,
seems
since
like.
they opened their Lawrence's, has there been any trouble with them at all?
None. No.
None,
None.
zero. So you're opening this crap stuff, people gotta come in this restaurant and see people, see Pete, what about him? What about Franco down the street? What about the Aredia brothers that got the dry cleaning? What about them? You guys are not listening to anything, okay?
Listen.
That's what I'm saying, it's very frustrating, okay? I'm about to move on near your block. It affects my coming there and my wife moving up in there.
Nobody wants to walk past the gas station.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to walk past the gas station.
we should be going out, you know what?
Nobody. It's
This
dangerous.
this
I know,
guy's
here-
word ain't
here's
no
the
good.
thing. So
I'll calm
They-
down.
the gas station isn't
What about
going, I
them?
mean, he's
Yeah.
a business owner and he can continue to run that, right? So
What about
I
Farrell?
think we have to deal with the reality that the gas station is going to be there,
We
whether it's in
understand
its
that. We
current form
understand.
or in its new form. And again, I don't disagree with you. I don't want to come outside and I want to hear all of that stuff. And I think that there are things that give me a chance to try to work on some of the stuff. This didn't come up, honestly, like we'll get calls and stuff, but not to the point where I was getting so many complaints that I needed to have some sort of community meeting and a whole process with BACP about business practices. And honest, hand to God, because if I had gotten that, you all would not have let me get away with that. Am I wrong about that? Because when you heard about what's going on with this zoning Board of Appeals thing, the community immediately came to me, and I respond to those. Okay, so let me have a little timeout here, okay? They're still scheduled for the ZBA. That, I want to just lay out all the things that are true right now. They're still scheduled for May 16th. I will, by tomorrow, end of day, post to Facebook. I don't have a webpage, but I put it on Facebook and I'll send a link out so that people can see it. It will have the date and time of the meeting, and it will have the full application that was submitted to the Zoning Board of Appeals for this. You are gonna need to give me an updated one, because
Now, is there a chance of them reconfiguring the building to help Mr. Passarelli? Is
I'm
there a
going,
chance of them doing that?
I'm going to ask the question. I'm not gonna put him on the spot here and have, this has been a 3-year
this is
process for
about-
him too.
We're
I-
here
I-
we're here to lay it all on the table.
I know.
Not kick the can down the road.
I'm not-
like it
I'm
was
not-
before in
I'm not-
2022, and look at where we're at now.
Okay, again,
We kicked the can
I'm
and
saying,
we got kicked.
Are you,
Right.
I'm not going anywhere, okay? I'm
can you
not,
redo the second floor?
Was that,
Can you redo the second floor to help Mr. Passarelli and shift it all the way
I will-
towards the alley?
So-
I'll show the drawing and then I'll sit down with him and with the corporate office, with the shop, that they see what they have to say.
I just wanna be clear on what you're asking, because Mr. Passarelli, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I just wanna make sure I'm correct. You would like for there not to be a second floor at all?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay, so I can't put that on him, okay? That, he has the right to do that as with the zoning the way it is, okay? That's up to the zoning board of appeals at the end of the day, if they want to approve it or not to approve it, and this has been, and again, I'm not picking a side here, I just wanna lay it all up, because it's not that he hasn't also spent a lot of resources, and it's been 3 years.
He hasn't
with-
spent nothing there. He hasn't done nothing there since
So,
he
yeah.
redid it for the first time, maybe about 12 years ago.
I'm talking about just through this process of trying to get the new place
Yeah.
built. That he has, architects, attorneys, all of this with the time that they've spent on this.
But he hasn't spent anything to be a good neighbor.
Well, he should have took the
I mean,
architect and talked to
serving
Mr.
you guys.
Passarelli.
Every day from 5 AM. But yeah, I mean, I'll do whatever, I'll try
Opening your
to.
doors isn't being a good neighbor to us.
I mean, I know he used to come when I was very young, haven't stopped seeing him.
We're scared to come to the gas
Patrick.
station.
Nobody wants to
But his
go
father,
there.
but his father-in-law comes in.
Nobody wants to go to the
Okay.
gas station.
You know what? I promised that this gentleman here could ask a question, and he's been so patient. Sir, did you still have a question?
Joe?
Question still?
Okay.
I
Yeah,
forgot it.
you're telling us that you, as an alderwoman, have no say in what happens at the appellate court or the appellate zoning commission? When half the neighborhood is telling you, we don't want this to happen, your word as the alderman who represent this community
And they'll say to the, they're
No,
gonna say,
I
I
can,
don't care what
I
you
can
say.
go, when they were doing the cannabis location on 35th and Ashland,
Okay,
I was against it and it still got passed. This is, I'm trying to tell it to you straight. I can show up there, I can make the argument, and the decision is not mine.
right.
That's all I'm saying to you. Like I said, I very rarely have very satisfactory things to tell people, but you will always get the honest truth from me. So what I want to do is I want to go back through all of this stuff with him and ask him what things he'd be willing to potentially change. Because this would probably be a 5th round of changes for him. What you've seen, I cannot speak to, right? Which is why, again, I wanted to walk through. That was the whole purpose of walking through all of that. Because I wasn't part of those initial meetings.
Okay, what about the daily urination that goes on right now? What's he gonna do for that right now
We
today?
got a whole summer.
We got a whole
Walk
summer.
out to see how busy the gas station is, so I don't get shot at again. I have to wait, I can't even go past Peter's house, it's as far as I can go with my 4-year-old daughter because we're all scared. So what are you gonna do about that?
What are we gonna do?
I'm there every day. You come in, if you see something, come to me.
Yeah, I should walk.
I know.
Yes, you know,
Why the guys?
you have a dog. I mean,
Azam, so,
That's not-
I mean, his daughter, Nicole comes in, both the daughter comes in, I mean, his father-in-law comes in.
We should all-
Jackie,
Yeah.
she's restriction.
Yeah. so what I'd like to do
His
is
wife,
sit down, Azam, please. So we're not getting anywhere anymore tonight. I mean, honestly,
Nothing was answered, Alderman. None of our problems were solved here today.
Not one.
Not one.
None.
All this was
Not one.
sitting in a hot room for my, I'll be honest with you.
As everyone's property.
so what I want to do is sit down with him and see all the things that you guys have asked for, because but I have asked for, we got a commitment to no liquor, no gambling, no sweepstakes machine,
right,
a plan of operations. I would like for you to consider moving those bathrooms inside, because that would solve a lot of problems at the end of the day.
I'll,
And the community has legitimate complaints and issues with this, okay? And it's your business that's here. I know you can't control the people that drive by at 2 a.m. There's a gas station there. That, I live on the other side of the highway. I get sound
It's
too.
called
But-
security
He can
guard.
control it when he's closed at night, put the gates up, the rolling gates, like he said in the first meeting we had with Patrick Johnson. During that meeting we had. He said
Lock it
he was
up.
gonna do
Lock it
it.
So I hear your
And that'll
concern.
deter any,
It's not very big, they can do chains or whatever, they can lock it up.
that'll deter any kind of burglary to his, just like they did with the ATM
Yeah,
machine.
and that protects him too. I get that. I get that.
Yes.
I'd like to give him,
That's all goes in there
This-
anyway, really.
I'm not gonna force him into any answer tonight, and I will come back to you with the answers. Again, I'm not going anywhere. You all know where I am. Half of you probably know where I live. I'm not
So,
going
Alderwoman,
anywhere.
how about just getting security guards right now? That's it. Security guards, right now, just to help the neighbors. That's, you know.
The gate, close the gate.
Something now, because-
I'll work with the security, I'll work with the security company.
I'm afraid to walk to my brother's house around the block.
No.
I'm afraid to go.
They can't-
I won't go after dark ever.
I don't even
That's
know
how
why.
bad it's getting by
Yeah.
maybe if there's a security guard walking up and down Wells Street, she would feel a little safer coming out of her building.
Can't come out after dark.
Yep, I understand. So, as
Because of the clientele that's there, because of the clientele that's there.
I get it.
And they hang out.
Like where the parking spots are against Mr. Israeli's building. A lot happens there. People park, people party, people, they're
Put a
drinking
bathroom
there, they're doing.
Refer to
drugs
the
there.
picture that you'll see.
Yeah. I
So
saw.
I think that too is a little concerning in the safety issue. So yes.
So what it doesn't,
Security guard.
what I'm hearing in the room, and again, because people were here for the initial meetings that I wasn't here for. It seems as if at this point, many of the concerns that were raised previously were not necessarily all addressed. And I wasn't here for whatever commitments that were made, okay? Again, I just want to lay it all out for everybody. Again, they can move forward with this. I don't think Azam wants to be adversarial with the neighbor. I never want businesses in the community to be bumping heads like this, because that's not good for anybody. And there are responsibilities on the side of business owners for the things that you can control. And again, there are things that he just can't control. Okay, now for the things that are possible, I'd like for you to just take a look at them, okay? And at the end of the day, we'll come back to everybody, but let me have a chance to sit down and talk here. I want to try to be, again, as fair as possible to everybody involved. And if you've made a commitment to get some security and get your employees trained so that if they see something that they have to call the police, okay?
100%.
Because if I don't have calls for service, I can't get on the police about getting resources out there. I don't.
How about some
So,
gates?
Mike, he's not gonna put gates up. I would, look, he's trying to make an investment here, and I think the gate question is more for the new plan. Honestly.
But you understand.
You have to wait for the game.
Okay, I understand.
Is there, so can we take
I
a look
can
at
talk
this?
with the shell company and then get back to you.
Because he literally can't do
Yeah.
just whatever he wants, because he's got a franchise agreement as well. So there's red tape to all of this.
I'll get back.
And yes, the
I know.
Department
And I'll
of
let you
I
know.
Development.
want to address
I'll-
is your electric,
Charging
for the
station.
car. Totally wasteless. There's gonna be people hanging out by Mr.
Yeah.
Passarelli's house. They'll be putting their cars there. They ain't gonna be even electric. And they're gonna be putting their cars there. And they're gonna be hanging out over there. I don't think they need that.
And the people that I see, only don't drive electric cars. They're gangbangers and people from bad neighborhoods, and I'm
It's
not.
bad for you, you ain't
That's
gonna buy
all
no
I see
gas,
all
sell no
day
gas, you don't need no plugins over there for electric cars, you don't want them in there. You got a gas station. You sell
You
gas,
want
not
people in and
electric.
out. You don't want people hanging around.
I mean, it's not what you like, what I like. It's a corporate line that when you work with some big
Right.
company, you have to follow their corporate line.
Why, it says you have to have that for that?
Right.
It says you have to have it on your property.
Exactly. That would,
Said that was
in the city of
DPD.
Chicago, I think this will be our first location. I think so.
That's gonna have plugins, couple plugins for electric cars.
Right.
I thought you said that was DPD's request.
I think it was both, obviously.
And why do you have to worry about Shell? They're not giving you any money.
Most of them,
They're gonna get
don't work
money.
anyway.
Oh, I
They're
know.
giving them money. Don't
Yeah,
let them pitch.
I know that, that's why I said. They ain't giving you no money, what do you care? Tell them, no, I ain't putting it in there.
Sorry, and
Look,
people who are in the chat, I'm sorry, I'm just catching up to the questions here on the chat as well.
Does anybody on the chat want to have any questions?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And they've been very polite and not just unmuting themselves, and jumping in. I'm just gonna go back through the comments over here. The litter is awful. We've already covered that. Can it be rezoned back? That, only if he asks for it. And then that would be a whole other process. So the answer to that is technically yes, but probably not. Crime issues, that is a problem with the police. We had some conversation, and we'll stay working with the night district to try to get more patrols in the area. Liquor is not being sold at this gas station. It has not for the time that he's owned it, and he's made a commitment not to pursue a liquor license. Yes, the police are not responding to all 911 calls. That is a citywide issue.
Undesirable product study.
Yeah, I have a note here for undesirable, for product study from Shell.
Why do we even need a study? Can't you just say, hey, listen, I won't sell rolling papers anymore?
This way they won't.
Why do we need a
parking
study?
lots, so I won't sell them in my house.
Just don't sell rolling papers no more.
Right.
Don't sell, don't sell.
And then you're gonna start coming into all of you start coming into my station, and also Patrick?
As long as it's
You're
safe.
gonna start coming in?
As long as it's safe, and I have been to your gas station.
I have not seen you for
I
a
know.
long time.
What difference does it make? I don't care if I come to the gas station or not. What
Okay.
difference does it make? What's that, it has to do with the safety of the
So-
neighborhood.
Azam,
I have not
maybe,
seen
come on,
you.
maybe,
I'm not showing last time
So,
what-
so, hold on, that was totally ignorant of him. They say something, that was a slap in our face.
maybe if you.
No, I have not.
It was a
All
hundred,
right.
a
You
hundred
please
percent.
don't.
A hundred
All right.
percent.
Sorry, if I say, I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on, guys. this is what I did not want this to devolve into. You had a comment. Was it?
There's a vape shop right across the station, so I
That's
wouldn't.
gotta close.
Yeah, I wouldn't see, that wouldn't make a
Sure.
difference. if
He's
it
got an
stopped.
armed security guard there and he closes at nighttime.
Yeah, that's true.
Armed security.
Armed
guards out
security
all
guard.
along.
All day.
So
That's what you need at a gas station.
how much money you making rolling papers?
Okay. I'm gonna go back through to make sure I'm not missing anything else. The zoning change that was approved was to make this, I believe, a B3, what is it? B3-1. Does the zoning board look at crime statistics? I do not believe that they do. But I'm gonna defer to you on this, Rich, you're before the zoning board of appeals more than I ever am.
That's my question. Does the zoning board look at the traffic of the alley of handicapped people?
No, but well, I don't know that DPD would have looked at handicap people going back and forth, but part of what the DPD review is traffic around and every aspect of the design of the building. So we've already asked about gates, that's already been covered. No, I have already said I'm not the ZBA, they're the authority on this. Okay, that covers all of the questions there.
Yeah, right?
Do you have one? Okay.
That noise that just went by now,
Did you hear
Uh-huh.
that? Yeah.
that's what I hear all night. In and out still, cause they must be dealing something. They must know,
gas station.
yes.
Or that's people with loud mufflers just driving by too, like,
No, they're not just driving by, boop, they come in still.
They're still going into the gas station after they're closed, Alderman. We're trying to tell you.
I can show you I can bring you the videotape for past 30 days. How
And
many cars are pulling after we shut down?
okay. So I'm gonna have a conversation with the police, it becomes a police issue at that point. I know he's closing, you guys want gates, and he's heard you on that,
All right.
all right? So it's been a really long meeting, and I know some of this was redundant, and I know you're gonna leave unhappy. I promise you, I'm gonna try to do whatever we can to address the issues that we can in the immediate sense. I'm not talking about waiting till later. We're gonna see what we can do between the police as well as his staff and the security that he's talking about hiring now.
When's the next
Okay.
meeting?
We don't have a follow-up?
Yeah, we'll have a follow-up, but give me a little time to talk to them. My schedule is insane.
That's fine.
It'll be before this ZBA hearing. That's what I can commit to you, okay?
All right.
There will be some sort of follow-up.
About the building going up. That's mine. I don't want it.
I understand, Mr. Passarelli.
And what about, you said that we can go and say we don't want it zoned? You said
You
we
can,
can't.
you can say that
So if we go ahead and do this and go there and say, listen, we don't want it zoned, we want another hearing, they will give us another hearing?
no,
No.
that's not a guarantee. You can
Yes.
offer what's called public comment on
She
it.
already said that it's just about set in stone. This is just formality that they're going through right now.
How long would that delay this project? If we went there and told them we want it?
They rule on those things the same day.
It's already cut in stone. She just told you. She
So, but if
There's
all
nothing you
of
can do
us,
about it.
if all of us here plus double that amount, fill up that room downtown, they may put a hold on it.
They may,
Correct? So
They may- it's
so
not-
maybe the owner of the gas station should weigh out his problems.
Right.
That's what we want. And maybe he could get what he wants. Or
We could all go there.
or we could all go downtown.
What else is going?
so let's end here. I'm sorry, that's all
Because
my.
basically, at the end of the day, all we want is safety. That's
All
what we
you-
want. We don't want garbage. We don't want bullshit. We don't want to hear the loud music and parties there at night. We want safety. We don't care that he has a gas station there.
I actually think you
we
do
care
care
about
that there's a gas
safety.
station there. You would rather not have a gas station there. Please, can we just acknowledge that?
But there's one, there's one,
No.
there's one.
No, it's been there forever. We've always lived with the gas.
So,
station.
Ken,
We
we're,
want it to
so,
be safe and
Absolutely
clean.
not. You're wrong.
Safe and
Absolutely
clean.
not.
That's what we
But
want.
care less if
You
this
got
man
it.
is a
Okay.
gas
Okay.
station.
And like I said, be my guest. I'm there every day, pretty much.
Okay.
Please be my guest. And if you see something, please tell me
There you go.
directly.
Okay.
If you're there,
And-
you should be looking at it.
Yeah, you need.
We shouldn't be
Your
policing
employees need to watch.
No,
it.
no, they do watch, but like I say, if you see something,
Okay,
can you give
We'll
me a
tell
break,
you.
please? You've been.
Excuse me.
done.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the zoning commission? How many appellates, how many are, is it a panel? Is it one person?
No, it's
Is it
not
a
one person.
commissioner?
It is a panel and are there still a vacancy on it?
It's 5 members appointed by the mayor. There's actually 2 alternates. So there's no.
It's a 5-member board.
It's
so,
online.
yeah.
And it's all the
Look.
information's online.
Appointed by the mayor, that should tell you everything.
That's the answer right there.
So,
Yeah,
everybody, I thank you all for coming.
all right, thank you.
And we'll come back to you with some additional answers, but I will get the information up
Thank
online
you
for
very
you.
much.
All right, thank you. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you.
He would like to say.
I have one more meeting tonight.